The nerds are ready for our co-main event of the evening. It's Fjant with a little bit of help from Reynor versus Ashbringer with a little bit of help from SKillous. Kind of a battle of the roommates here. I'm gonna let them know I am ready when you are. Our third best of 5 of the night. Big Brain Bouts number 25. The upcoming 3 weeks, guys, in the Big Brain Bouts, we will only invite non-DreamHack players. So we'll give everyone a chance to win some money that didn't make it into DreamHack. I think that's pretty awesome. Obviously, a lot of these guys had some heartbreak when they didn't make it into the DreamHack Masters, because these guys are good, and it's cool to still give them something big to play in. $100 for the winner of this best of 5, $25 for the loser. Obviously, exclamation mark BBB if you want to learn something about this event, or exclamation mark Basilisk if you want to thank Basilisk for running this event. Let's go ahead and get it on.
Let's get it on.
Round 1, fight!
In the bottom left side, we are looking at the main base of our Russian Protoss. Has been DMing me and says, Roddy, when is it my time again? Can I please play? Can I please play? And I said, alright, mate. First week that the DreamHack Masters is running, you'll be back in the mix. This is the Protoss that is known for A-moving some of our Terran friends with Phoenix, Colossus, Zealot of a low probe count. It's Ashbringer, representing Starcom. And in the top right side, we are looking at the main base of our very own. It's been a long time since I gave him a chance to play in the Big Brain Bouts. The last time we saw him, he lost to Cats. When the map pool was new, the patch was new. He was caught off guard by the creativity that Cats brought to the menu. However, since that series, guys, this man has really made some good progress. His MMR is higher than ever before. He's 5,800 MMR. It's Team Roddy's Fjant. You guys are taking the coaching thing a little bit too serious. I shared the story before. I'll share it again. I asked Ashbringer how his ZVP was, or his PVZ. And he said, not bad. I asked SKillous. He helped me. Smiley face, smiley face, smiley face. So when I saw that message, I was like, hey Reynor, SKillous is helping Ashbringer. You have to help my boy Fjanti. Otherwise it's not fair. And some of you guys know this, obviously. Some of you guys may not know, but SKillous and Reynor are roommates. So I told Reynor to help Fjant a little. Fjant was very adorable about this. He said, Roddy, how do I contact Reynor? I was like, well, you're just like, hey dickhead, what's up? Can you help me with my ZVP? And Fjant is like, no, I can't do that. He's the world champion. I don't know how to message him. And I was like, oh, come on, just send him a message. I was like, Reynor is nice. Don't worry about it. He was very shy and sweet about all of it. In the end, he gathered the courage to write a lovely little message to Reynor with a couple of replays. And Reynor was just laughing, and he said, yeah, of course, I'll take a look at your replays. And apparently gave him a couple tips and pointers. So I thought that was cute. It brought a big smile to my face. Yeah, it was fun. It's obviously a big series for Fjant. It's been a while since I said that I invited him to the Big Brain Bouts. Our man is very hit or miss, but the last few times I got to cast him, he really has made some good progress. The creep spread has improved. I think that was one of his biggest weaknesses. And obviously playing Zerg with very little creep spread, you just make your life so hard. One of the beauties of Zerg is the amount of map vision you have with this race. And that's something you really have to take full advantage of. Let's see. Fjant has a Overlord in position. He knows that the Adept leaves, so he's going to sneak 2 Zerglings into the natural. We'll get a very easy scout off if he wants to in the main base, and he will. I'm sure that he was expecting Stargate, but I want to say it's still nice to confirm that, but he still hasn't quite confirmed it. At least Ashbringer, his build is being disrupted here. Because we have 2 Adepts already on the other side of the map. Fjant, we can't be losing too many drones against 2 Adepts. I would cancel that shade any day of the week, and that's exactly what Ashbringer does too. Fjant was hiding his links, but I want to say still it's a good start for Ashbringer. It's 3 workers going down, make it 4. 4 drones, 2 Adepts. I would normally say this is a disaster for the Zerg. But since Fjant was able to sneak a couple of links into the natural and disrupted the flow of Ashbringer's build a little, I want to say it's not all that bad, but we can't be losing more drones against this Oracle though, because otherwise we are in a bit of a pickle immediately. Oracle is going to fly into the natural, and once more the drones are pulled. Not the cleanest start here for Fjant in the best of 5. Does have a couple of links running into the natural, but there's a shield battery there. What happened to the Stalker? The Stalker died, guys. The Stalker apparently died to some Zerglings. So the Overlord lives. One happy Zergling is getting a perfect scout off. It's only a single Oracle on the side of Ashbringer. Kind of a wanky start to this best of 5. A build that has now been disrupted multiple times. Fjant has a lot of information, but still took some decent damage at home. He needs to work on his economy. As Ashbringer, in all the chaos, let his pylon finish up, and he's now a fully walled-in 2-based Protoss. I cannot imagine a world where that's on purpose. Yeah, I know. He's gonna kill his own pylon. Like, the 2-based Protoss all-in guys are just not that hot. The only way it's ever hot is if you do it very early, right at the get-go. You pretend you're expanding, and then you hit him with like an 8-gate Zealot all-in or something, but... I mean, I guess this is all at least very nice for Fjanty Boy, who I believe has never won in the Big Brain Bouts. He's either 0-2 or 0-3. Huh? We are working on our lair. Roach 1 is finishing up, morphing in 8 roaches at once. I mean, Fjant taking this War Prism very serious. But I don't hate it, right? Because it's a 2-base Protoss. Gets on top of the High Templars. Can he kill one? No way. Ah, good save by Ashbringer. Before that High Templar could die, or before it could reach the other High Templar to morph into an Archon, he hopped it into the Prism. Good little play. We can definitely see that we have stepped up the pace a little bit when it comes to this best of 5. Archon harass. Ashbringer has a lot of money. He's going to start spending that right now by going up to 3 bases. Fjant is sending links to the other side of the map. It's still just that single Oracle that has energy, but the Adept gets surrounded immediately. The Adept will die. Run the links away, Fjant. There you go. More than enough roaches. One roach does die, but no big deal. You much rather lose a roach than lose a bunch of drones or a queen. That's kind of what roaches are for, guys. In my days, we used to call the roach the 75-25 stalker. It's a bloody shame that that meme has fallen out of the meta. Is 2-base Mothership recall a thing? If your name is the Fighting Frog, yes. If you're not the Fighting Frog, then it's not a thing. War Prism sneaks into the main base. 2 Archons gonna try to get a couple of hits off. Transfuse does land on the side of Fjant. Fjant will lose more drones though. The Zerg economy has not quite been where it's supposed to be. And obviously all kudos to Ashbringer for that. He's just done a good job. That's another drone there. 12 drones have gone down in a 7-minute game. War Prism is forced to idle behind the main base. We are now heading into Double Forge, Archon, Immortal, Zealot. I think that's an army comp that Fjant is honestly pretty good against. I've been quite fond of the Lingbane Roach Ravager engagements of our Swedish Zergi. As the 3 queens are going to get a lot of shots off. Will not get the kill on the Prism. These queens though, that's going to get somewhat close. Will not get the Prism yet. As the roaches reveal themselves. If I was Ashbringer, I would just recall this Prism. Like right about now. A recall wouldn't hurt, mate. Even a Dark Shrine going up. Feels that these two are very evenly matched, at least. Very competitive. Obviously, after 2 3-0s, guys, I am done with the 3-0s for today. And we want to see a good old 3-1 or 3-2. The very bare minimum, I want to see a 3-1. Ideally, I want to see a 3-2. Obviously, I'm going to be a little bit biased towards my Zerg boy Fjant, but if Ashbringer proves to be the stronger player, so be it. This many roaches, I want to say, could be a problem, but with 4 Immortals, I think Ashbringer is in a pretty good spot. Shouldn't struggle all that much. Man, this War Prism is still just there. Fjant dropping a creep tower in the edge of his main base. 3 queens are going to get shots off. There's a Sport Crawler as well on the left. Nice transfuse there immediately. Go for the Prism, go for the Prism. Archon splash damage is a problem though. Okay, Fjant really wants to get that Prism. One of the queens does die. Second queen is going to take a lot of damage. Dies as well. And the Archons will get the hat trick.
Hat trick.
One Archon did die in the process of all of that. There's a couple of Zealots going to cancel on this hatchery. What do we got here? This is Zerglings, I believe it was. Zealots get a cancel. An Archon dies, but 3 queens die in return. Fjant fires up 18 links, 9 roaches, double ravager. We've got double evo, triple evo chamber, guys. Triple evo chamber. Okay, and now we're working on +2 missile attacks and +2 melee. I was about to say that's a few too many evolution chambers to not be researching anything. That's Reynor's advice. I don't think that was Reynor. Fjant is on 75 drones, which is decent, but not fantastic. There is a Dark Shrine in the mix, so obviously Dark Templars could be a problem. Fjant dropped a couple of corrosive balls, very ambitious. And now we need to keep an eye on this War Prism. There are DTs running in. We only have a single Spore Crawler, guys, and that's in the back of the main base. The Dark Templars are really putting a number on Fjant here. Fjant, we cannot do this, mate. Let's run back. Sure, you get some drone kills, but these force fields, they slap. I mean, Ashbringer takes an absolutely amazing fight while having an Archon getting big hits off, while having a DT in the 3rd base, a DT in the 4th base, a DT in the main as well. Sweet baby Jesus. I apologize for using Jesus' name in vain, but this is a lot of chaos. This is a lot of chaos. Fjant was not ready for the DTs of Ashbringer. He's going to be able to clean it up in the end, but obviously lost a lot of armies flying the other side of the map. That War Prism that's been around for the last 5-6 minutes is still active. This one Archon, guys, has 19 kills. Gonna get a couple of big hits off here on the roaches as well. Unfortunately for Fjant, it's all falling apart. Not having an overseer with the attack, not having an overseer at home to deal with these Dark Templars. It's honestly by far and away the biggest mistake the man made in this game. The start wasn't flawless, right? The Adepts did damage, the Oracles did damage, but the DTs, and we're still going. 2 Dark Templars slicing up additional drones at the 3rd. 38 freaking drones have gone down in the last 2 minutes of this game. So that's Pain, the Invisible Man, as they like to call him on the streets. The Invisible Man is pretty darn good. That's a shame. Fjant is gonna try, but I think at this point the writing is on the wall for game 1. Ashbringer is looking strong and pretty on 4 bases, 70 probes. Double forts as well, we can't forget about that. +2 Immortals, +2 Archons, and even 3-3 is spinning. The only way that Fjant ever wins this game is if Ashbringer just does nothing for a long time. Let's Fjant's economy recover and gets a bunch of lurkers out, and then Ashbringer takes a bad fight against lurkers, but I don't think that's gonna happen, guys. There's money on the line. And Ashbringer is a Protoss that I want to say has pretty decent killer instinct. Maybe at this point he's just waiting for 3-3. He is rebuilding a Prism, the one that he lost in the main finally, but safe to say that that Prism was good. It was an excellent Prism even. Our Swedish Zergi is in trouble. He is gonna get the lurker then, but obviously these are not hive tech lurkers either. We cannot get adaptive talents. We cannot get seismic spikes, I believe it's called. We do have a couple of banelings with +2 melee, 19 probes going down. Okay, +2 melee banes turn me into a believer again. That's good. That was very good, but Fjant needs more. And above all, Fjant needs time. But look at this. This is a Protoss ball of death, if I've ever seen one. +3 Archons, +3 Immortals. And it's not just a couple. I don't know how you stop this. This is a Protoss pain of Protoss train of pain. Making his way to the other side of the map. Fjant is going to be forced to sacrifice this hatch. Does he have any Hydras? Yeah, he's got 2 Hydras, but that's just... it's not good enough. Couple of DTs is sneaking into the base at 12 o'clock as well. This Protoss army can aim with. Too much HP, too much firepower. There is nothing that Fjant can do about it. There are still some units in the main base as well, as the War Prism harassment has been relentless. And the man who's been DMing me for weeks, pinging me up, hitting me up, saying, Roddy, it's my time. Stop inviting the same nerds over and over again and give me another chance. He takes the 1-0 lead here in our co-main event. Honestly, a good first game with a pretty exciting early game. It just felt like there was a lot of action. Fjant getting some good work done with his links. Obviously taking a decent amount of damage against the Adepts and the Oracles. just the key deciding moment in this first game really were the Dark Templars. The attack without the Overseer, that really hurt, because you're never going to win the fight against 3-4 defensive DTs. And then obviously the DTs on the other side of the map killing a redonkulous amount of drones. 38 drones going down within 2 minutes. It's hard to recover from that. Good first game though between these two. They seem to be very evenly matched. I do believe that if Fjant just stays calm, focuses on the fundamentals, learns from the mistakes he made in game 1, I think he should be fine. He should be fine. He should be able to turn things around. Let's go ahead and hop into game 2 together.
Round 2. Fight!
In the bottom right side of Gresvan, enjoying a 1-0 lead in our co-main event of the evening, representing Starcom. This is our teal Protoss Ashbringer. I feel like Ashbringer lost to a Zerg the last time around. We asked him to play. I remember a game on, or was that Mindo VK actually? What did Ashbringer play? I don't know. Exclamation mark B will link you guys to the Liquipedia, and then you can just go back and you can see the last time that Ashbringer played. I think it was like Big Brain Bouts number 18, 19, 17. Something along those lines. For me, it's hard to keep Ashbringer and Mindo VK separated, even though I think Ashbringer is the younger one. And I do know his PVT very well, but the other matchups, that all kind of blurs together. In the top left side, representing Team Ruddy with a big special shout out to Jacob. We are looking at the main base of our Swedish Zerg. This is Fjanti. After this best of 5, guys, we have one more big best of 5. And for the first time ever, our Romanian sweetheart, because now we are recording, so he's our Romanian sweetheart, Cuckoo, is playing in a main event, as he's gonna duke it out with Rodzin. And Rodzin is a Polish Protoss. He's been around for a long time. He asked me for quite some time to play in the Big Brain Bouts. I thought this was the perfect week to make him play. And the funny thing is that I just kind of asked Rodzin. I was like, hey, I'll give you the choice. You can play against Cuckoo or Baby Marine. Who would you rather play? And he said, I would much rather play Cuckoo. And I was like, oh, snap. So obviously I let Cuckoo know. I was like, hey, Cuckoo. I gave him the choice. And he thinks you're easy money. You know, just to steer the pot a little bit. So Rodzin wanted Cuckoo. Rodzin got Cuckoo. I'm excited for that best of 5. I think it's going to be good. Ashbringer with a wall-off that I'm not a very big fan of. I always think it's way better to leave a little bit of space between your cybercore and your gateway. Because in a world where he would get link flooded, you ideally want to pop a gateway unit and make it part of your wall immediately. Now he would have to pop it here and run it all the way towards here or even here. But never use this little area as your wall off. So not the most pretty wall off if you ask me. But Fjant is not much of an all-in, so I think Ashbringer is fine. I hope you guys are having a fun Friday. I know there is a crazy amount of StarCraft to watch today. We had WTL, we have ESL Masters, we have Big Brain Bouts. It just doesn't stop. I think it's a good way to kick off a very exciting weekend. I'm a big F1 fan, as a lot of you guys know. We have a Miami Grand Prix to look forward to. I look forward to some more drama. And obviously there's a big UFC event this weekend as well. And maybe, guys, maybe my favorite team, football team that is, wins the Dutch League this weekend. If we don't win it this weekend though, we'll probably win it next weekend. It's not really a question of if we're going to win, but it's more like when. But it could be Sunday. And I will obviously stream on Sunday because I do the virtual Grand Prix. But if PSV does not win tomorrow, on Sunday I'm going into the city. I'm going to watch Feyenoord on the big screens with hundreds and thousands of fellow Rotterdammers. So by the time you guys see me live on Sunday, I may be very drunk and happy. And then I will probably crash out on lap 1. But 2 adapts straight into the natural, but Fjant is in position with the link. Still loses 3 drones though. That's not ideal, guys. Losing 2 drones there for 2 adapts is acceptable, but losing 3 drones, it's just a drone too much. Now, good news for Fjant is that Ashbringer has opened up with the Void Ray, and I personally don't think that the Void Ray opening is all that intimidating. And again, by the way, Ashbringer going double Forge. I thought you were a Feyenoord fan? I am a Feyenoord fan. And we are going to win the league, mate. But for Fjant to win the league this weekend, we need PSV to spill points tomorrow. If PSV wins tomorrow, then Fjant cannot win the league this weekend. But if they... Yeah, let's say they win, we win, then we're going to win it next weekend. I am a very happy drunk. Especially when it comes to Fjant winning stuff. I am a 35-year-old man. And in my entire life, I think I've been a Fjant fan since I was... Ooh, Fjant killing his own drone there, guys, with the queens. Saw that little misclick. Does do a lot of damage to the Oracle. Still loses 4 drones. Void Ray, meanwhile, is going to harass the main base. Okay. Kind of random. Does get a drone kill. 1 drone kill is better than none. But yeah, in my entire 32 or 33-year-old life of being a Fjant fan, we have only won the National League 3 times. So either this weekend or the next weekend is going to be the 4th time in my existence that we become Dutch champions. So needless to say, very happy times around in Rotterdam. It's quite rare, guys. It is quite rare. It's been an amazing season. Hello, Devo. We have Blink as a follow-up here for Ashbringer, and double upgrades are up and rolling as well. For Fjant, this has not been an ideal game. Just losing once more, a few drones too many. Not a game-ending amount of damage by any stretch of the imagination, but we need to stop Fjant. We need to stop losing drones. And he will once more lose at least 3 workers. I believe there is an Oracle. Hello? Queens. This is the 2nd time, guys, that Queens are attacking Fjant's own stuff. Earlier, when the Oracle flew in, we saw the Queens one-shotting a drone. And now we see the Queens attacking Roachwarn. Could be some of the nerfs. Fjant is still a young boy. Obviously, you don't have the opportunity to play for $100 every single day. So these are big moments for these kids. It seems like some of the nerves are getting the best of him. But he's still in this game, even though it hasn't been a super pretty start. I want to say he's still totally in it. It's just important that we don't end up losing like 30-40 drones again against DT. So that is not something you can recover from. I don't know why we don't have a spore crawler. Like, a single spore makes your life so much easier. A triple oracle shows up in the back of the natural, gets 6 drones. All the oracles live. Fjant needs to work a little bit on the queen movement. Can we get lucky? We do not get lucky. Good news of all of this is that obviously if you're a 4-base Zerg and you lose a couple of drones, it's a lot easier to recover from than when you're a 3-base or a 2-base Zerg. Then it truly hurts, but Fjant needs to really get up to 80 plus drones, and then I absolutely believe that with Ling, Roach, Ravager, Bane, he can defeat the ground army of Ashbringer. Ashbringer is not much of a storm guy, he's not much of a disruptor guy. So Ling, Roach, Ravager, Bane can absolutely get the job done. And obviously to play that style and to defeat a well-upgraded Protoss army, you need a strong economy. We are getting a 5th hatchery in the center of the map. Overseer Scout in the main base seemed to be pretty good. Do we have stasis traps, by the way? I don't think there's a single stasis trap on the map. Fjant is EVA +2. I don't know why he's EVA +2. I think Fjant and EVA are pretty similar in skill. Maybe EVA is a tiny bit better. They have some different strengths for sure. Like I think EVA is very good with queens, and I think for Fjant, the queen play is actually one of the weaknesses. I think he has very good engagements in the late game. Like we have a lot of active creep tumors right now that we are just not using, especially against the way that Ashbringer plays, where it's mostly like 2 adapts or oracle harass, but nothing really else. Like that's where you really want to get crazy creep threat. Seems that all the banelings just tried to roll into this 3rd base. I didn't think he was going to use that, guys, since I was taking a look at some creep tumors. Yeah, okay. I didn't think that that's what you guys were going for. I obviously don't like that baneling run back, guys. I didn't show it because I didn't expect him to do it. There is nothing happening. Ashbringer's army is at home. There are no battles elsewhere. You can't just be randomly rolling in 15 banelings with +1 even if there is no other fight happening at the same time. We do have a hive on the way. Fjant is keeping his money very low. so low even that at this point you're definitely holding your heart that if he takes the bad fight, the game is over immediately. And look at these upgrades, by the way, of Ashbringer, guys. Take a moment. Look at this. +3 attack, +3 armor, and then look at the clock. Ashbringer is a special Protoss, guys. The man loves his upgrades. It's pretty sick. We now have a couple of stasis traps going down. Fjant needs to be careful. So far, so good. There are more, though. There are more stasis traps. This is not the army, Fjant. Like, if you want to poke with this army, it's fine. But we can't be committing with this army. Baneling's rolling into his stasis at the third base as well. There is no anti-air, and I do not like this fight for Fjant. I hope that I'm wrong. I hope that he can surprise me. Because he does get... He got an Archon. He gets an Immortal. He gets another Archon. The Lings are about to free up. Maybe. It's just the upgrades, man. These Protoss upgrades so sick. Banelings rolling into the third after the stasis ran out. At the same time, in the main base, we've got 2 Archons already killing a bunch of drones. Solid warp in. Okay, this fight is still happening. And apparently the final few Roaches, Ravages and Zerglings were doing alright. But 21 drones going down against only 7 probes is not good enough. Fjant did not have the bank. Fjant did not have the economy to take a fight like that. In range of static defenses, in range of all the defensive warp-ins, and basically running into a Protoss concave. This is a pain for the young man from Sweden. Ashbringer is playing well. And it's also, I think, Fjant is misjudging some of these fights. Because he's not quite putting 2 and 2 together. That Ashbringer, his upgrades are absolutely god tier. +3 attack and +3 armor are done. Ashbringer has 3-3 at minute 11. You can't just be rolling a couple of Lings into stasis traps and the army then at the same time. When the Lings have +1 melee and +1 missile attacks for the Roaches, it's just not going to work. How did game 1 go? Somewhat similar to this game, actually. Ashbringer just getting good upgrades, getting into a good spot. Fjant lost a lot of drones against DTs in game 1. This time around, mostly against the War Prism and Archons. Like, if Fjant would just get 10 Lurkers, I feel like these upgrades don't matter that much. The Banelings do have +2, guys. This time around, +2 Banelings. Unfortunately, not a single one makes it into the mineral line. We can be very happy on Team Fjant that Ashbringer is not A-moving us right now. Because if Ashbringer was A-moving, this game would be over. The upgrades are crazy. We do have seismic spines on the way. It is seismic spines, right, guys? I'm like double guessing the name of the upgrade. It's seismic something. I'm gonna say seismic spines. More +2 Banelings trying to get lucky. Is there a little Baneling that could? No. Like, I don't mind this by Fjant if we're just trying to buy some time for our Lurkers, but Fjant is broke as a joke. Legitimately has no gas, no minerals, does finally have good creep spread. Lurkers are morphing right now in the center. Ashbringer, I think, caught a glimpse of it. 4 Lurkers is probably not enough. Oh, no, Fjant, no. As he loses 2 Lurkers, guys, before the fight even starts. Another big old Prism in the back of the natural. The 2 Archons, the Zealots, once more doing their thing. Seems that Fjant's Ling army got obliterated too. 3 Lurkers, I don't think are gonna save our Fjanty boy here, guys. He is trying, but Ashbringer is looking good. The Archons, the Zealots, the War Prism play is really making the difference between these two so far. Back-to-back games, the Prism shined brighter than ever before. More drones getting sliced up in the main base. But just look at the amount of workers that have gone down on either side. 71 drones against 10 probes. That is the difference between these two. Ashbringer is finding all the economic damage in the world, and Fjant is simply not finding the economic damage that he is looking for. And by the time he gets Lurkers, like, Lurkers are good against this ground army. I would believe in 10 plus Lurkers with a bit of support. But 3-4 Lurkers obviously are never ever gonna get the job done. Ashbringer takes a 2-0 lead after a 15-minute game on Grass 1 with 3-3 upgrades for the ground Protoss army at minute 11. Yeah, that's big. That's convincing. Our man is in trouble. It's the War Prism play that is kind of making the difference between these two. Yeah. It's true that they're being coached by Reynor and SKillous right now. Not right now. Just a little bit of help before the series. Not quite super intense coaching. Obviously, Reynor is way too busy to, well, I say that. I don't think Reynor is busy at all, but I am not going to ask Reynor to spend hours upon hours on helping Fjant to get ready, but I think Reynor gave him a couple of encouraging words and a few tips and pointers, and SKillous did the same for Ashbringer. The Oracles got a little too much damage, but it's not so much what the Oracles got done. It does all add up, right? StarCraft 2 is a game of inches, but if the adapts are alright, and then the Oracles are alright, and then the War Prism is more than alright, it adds up really quick. Anyway, I think I displayed it perfectly towards the end. They are both trying to destroy each other's economy. Fjant loses 71 drones, Ashbringer loses 10 probes. Like, that kind of says it all. I still believe in our boy, though. I still believe in our boy. I think it's doable.
Round 3. Fight.
In the bottom left side of Ancient, we are looking at the main base of the man who's been very eager to play in the Big Brain Bouts, representing Starcom, hailing from Russia. This is a teal Protoss Ashbringer, making SKillous proud so far. In the top right side of Ancient, we are looking at the main base of a young man from Svariga. He's representing Team Roddy, all the tier 3 subbies, and especially Jacob. Give him your love and support. He needs it. I believe in him. I really think he can bring this back. I'm not on copium right now. This is Fjant. If we just have a cleaner start, we keep track of prisms, I genuinely believe that he can do this. Why does Cuckoo look like he just got in a fight in his photo for the Big BB? That's just Cuckoo in everyday life, man. Cuckoo is a warrior, mate. He's battling. Cuckoo has an MMA bout at 7 and the Big Brain Bouts at 8. This is the kind of life that Cuckoo lives. Gateway into Nexus, into the Cybercore here for Ashbringer, very standard. The opening for Fjanti is on the other side of the map, also very standard. Our man is not a cheeser, even though if I looked at that wall up in game 2, and I think of that first adapt just shading out in game 1, I almost wish that Fjant would be willing to roll the dice. And I think he'd be... pull the probes right now, mate. Mate, come on. No, not with one drone. Okay. This is a little life advice for all of you guys. You never want to randomly chase workers if they are like on the edge of a mineral patch, or they're here, or they're like right here. But if they are literally in a little knock like that, immediately grab 6 workers, A move, dead probe, 100% dies, and it's absolutely worth it. Like, that was not a good place for the probe to be, and Fjant should have pulled his workers there and kill it. I don't ever recommend you guys to, in general, pull the worker unless you're 100% certain that you can kill the scout, but that was one of these 100% moments. That Overlord that lived so long on Royal Blood is apparently not going to relive its glory days here on Ancient, as it actually dies almost immediately. Ashbringer is switching things up, right? Because in the other games he always went Adept before Stalker. Now he goes Stalker before Adept. The Lynx are really not going to win this fight. I don't really understand the purpose of this. If it is to get a scout off, sure, and then again he did lose the Overlord, so maybe, but it's still 4 links. I also really don't understand why Fjant didn't have a Spore Crawler. I guess it was Void Rain to Oracles in the previous game, but I still felt that we should always have a Spore in the natural. Like, it may not necessarily save every single drone, but it's gonna keep a decent amount of drones safe. Oh, we have our Basilisk man playing in the ESL Masters later tonight to Trigger. I believe in Trigger. I think he's gonna do totally fine. Oh, tomorrow? The game that I look most forward to, though, is Trigger. On Monday. The 8th of May, guys. Our most glorious day of the year. Basilisk against Dragon Kaisi Gaming. Obviously, I'll be casting, I'll be watching. I'll be super biased. I'm pumped. We have a couple of links of Fjant here showing up, getting the surround on the adept. Is that enough to get the kill? Yes. Now we have more links showing up. I kind of like it. Then there's 2 adepts for another whole lot of Zerg links. Get the probe, get the probe. Get the probe, please. Not gonna get the probe, but that's okay. Will Ashbringer play double forge once more? Are you and BabyMarine still about even? Oh, Eva. You would absolutely get smacked by my boy BabyMarine, mate. Get out of here with all that copium in my chat. BabyMarine is an animal. I'm kidding, I'm kidding. Alright, we have a fleet beacon and a second Stargate going up in the main base. Spore Crawler getting a bunch of hits off. I don't mind this start for Fjant. So Ashbringer is switching things up here, guys. In game 3, maybe going for like the carrier opening. If you ever scout this as a Zerg, and it's obviously going to take a little while before Fjant scouts it, because we kind of need an overseer to scout something among these lines. If we scout this, what we want to do is just build a bunch of queens, go up to 80 plus drones, and then we start spamming corruptors and roaches. I think if you do that to perfection, it's an easy win. I think I would pick BabyMarine over Eva. No cap, no copium. If it's for all the marbles, I pick my boy Brabba. When are you turning 16, Eva? When can we make this happen? Or I could ask very kindly to the lovely folks of Basilisk one time to make an epic exception and see if we can let you play one more time. We have a couple of links running into the 3rd base of Ashbringer. Ashbringer obviously does not want to reveal his... wow, that's a lot of probes going down, guys. Sweet baby. 7 probes, just like that. I'm surprised. Only 2 drones falling. Let's go ahead and scout these carriers, Fjant. If we scout the carriers, we drop a spire. I think we are cooking. For some reason, it's only... What is this build, man? It's like one gate... What? He's just gonna make 2 carriers and then he's gonna transition into ground. So I guess he's hoping for a lot of corruptors to be built on the other side of the map as the Void Ray taking some damage. This is a very good start here for Fjant, guys. I kind of feel like if Fjant does not win this game, he's not going to win a single game. Obviously the best of 5 would be over as well, but this is a really good start for our man Fjanti. Macro has looked good. I think we can actually save this hatch as well. Yes, we can. It's just that little bit of momentum. Sure, the carriers are a tiny bit of a problem. We need to bring our queens over. But we can obviously try to get lucky with our roaches on the other side of the map. It's just 2 carriers, though. We have a couple of banelings, guys. Can they make it into the middle line? No, but hey, they do empower the shield battery. Yeah, roaches, guys. This many roaches that Void Ray has his work cut out for it. Ashbringer does not have prismatic alignment, guys, and that means he's going to lose a couple of probes here as well. What are the interceptors up to? Okay, Fjant, please don't mess up here. Don't mess up. Transfuse, 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 transfuse. Once a carrier, no recall available, by the way. Ah, 1 queen did die there. That's a little bit unfortunate. Roaches and links not accomplishing too much. Okay, now Ashbringer goes back into carrier production as well. I don't know. I'm very confused, guys. We're playing double Stargate carrier, 3 base, double forge. Zealot? Archon? Robo? I don't know. A little bit of everything. I think at this point Fjant is probably a little bit confused as well. The spire is almost done. He did lose a lot of roaches there though, guys. 11 roaches went down. 11 roaches went down. Interceptors getting picked up. We have a few more banelings rolling in. I like the scout here at least. Like, it's super important that Fjant realizes that he sees Archons, he sees Stalkers. Don't get too carried away with corrupted production. Even if there are 4 carriers, and that's the amount of carriers you need to respect, make sure that we also respect the ground army of Ashbringer. Fjant, stop attacking with tiny armies, please. Can we max out one time? Like, you have 84 drones. We have bad saturation somewhere, right? Mate, 7 drones from this base. They need to go towards the 12 o'clock base. Oh, Fjanti. Like, I don't like it when we attack without a single penny in the bank. Because that means that if this fight does not work out, Fjant is in all sorts of trouble. 2 carriers are a little bit exposed though. Shield battery overcharge gets activated. The battery goes down. Carrier number 1 falls. Carrier number 2 is also taking a beating. So now I think at the bare minimum this is a decent attack. What have we got here? A Zealot counterattack. It is important that Fjant does not lose too much against these Zealots. Well, it's not that fake of a carrier build if we're building 4 carriers and +1 air weapons, right? At first I was like, okay, 2 carriers into ground, yeah, that can be a fake. But if it's 4 carriers, it becomes kind of a serious investment. Come on, Fjant. No 3 zeros. We've had enough. I am very biased right now, guys. It is looking good. He needs to start saturating this damn base, though. Finally, we have pulled the drones away from the main base, where we had some serious oversaturation happening. 20 banelings are morphing in the bottom right side. Fjant can do this. Fjant is doing it, but he's definitely not there yet. Because we don't have the sickest creep spread everywhere, we make our life against the Zealot run by is very difficult. There is no spine, no spore, no queens in position. And because the saturation wasn't good, even if he had 84 drones, he didn't quite have the economy that he's supposed to have. Still mining a whole bunch more, as we have a couple of banelings crashing into the 3rd base. This time around, the army of Ashbringer was not in the correct spot, so that's 17 probes going down. Can you guys explain to me how this man still has +3 attack and +3 armor going on 11 minutes into the game? After opening up with 4 freaking carriers. Ashbringer is the god of Protoss upgrades. Even when he has a carrier opening, he's got... Oh my god, that's so many Archons. The force fields are good as well on the side of Ashbringer. That's a sweet battery overcharge. Fjant needs to run back. That is not a fight you want to take, my friend. A couple of Zealots are going to roll into Ling Bane here. That's a pretty clean defense on the side of Fjant. Somewhat pricey, but it's okay. Fjant is making his way up to Hive. The Roaches only have +1 missile attacks though. I do fear that a little bit, right? Against once more a Protoss ground army that's going to have +3 attack. Out of the 4 carriers that were created, 2 of them are still around. There is 1 Void Ray on the map as well. Fjant, like, we need a creep tumor like here. We need to work a little bit on our map vision in the center of the map, in the top left side. We've got all the active creep tumors in the world on the bottom side, but that's not really doing a whole lot for us. The floodgates are kind of open here, right? This is not a super well defended base. I don't like attacking into that many Archons though, I fear. If we have Corruptors and Corruptors clump up, please don't do it. No dive on the carrier, please. Scary game. It's double Spire on the side of Fjant, who does finally have a nice bank. A couple of Zealots somehow penetrate all the Zerg defenses and make it into the natural. More Stalkers. Stalkers don't even have Blink yet, by the way. You also find yourself in a scenario, guys, where you have +3 for your Stalkers, but you don't have Blink. Good defense here by Ashbringer. Very well done. Beautiful move there with the Archon's battery, healing them up in the back. That was clean. Couple of Zealots duking it out with Roaches in the top left side. It's a lot of barking at the moment, but no biting on either side. Fjant's thinking about it, but there is a battery overcharge here. This army is so freaking Archon heavy, as not a Zealots have made it into the main base. Fjant is terribly out of position. It's a War Prism once again, just causing all sorts of pain. Now we're going triple Spire as one of the greatest Spire gets killed. Ay. Uh-oh. I mean, at least Fjant now only has 48 drones, so he can have a crazy big army, but this army is so damn Archon heavy. Fjant does not have a great anti-Archon army, even though Roaches can be alright, right? 30 on creep, I think Fjant's army is fine. Even though I would not mind +2 missile attacks or +3 missile attacks. Off creep or near a battery, you're gonna get absolutely murdered by this army. This is gonna be a pretty insane fight. 125 army supply for the Protoss. 152 army supply for the Zerg. This is not the Zerg's entire army though. Blink is finally done. Oh my goodness, there's so many Archons. There's a couple of Zealots running into the base at... okay, good job, Fjant. Leaves a couple of roaches behind. That's well done. But we need more of that. Fjant still has money in the bank. Since we built literally 3 Spires. Even when 2 Spires die, you still have 1 left. Oh my god, what an army. I'm not sure about the 33 Banelings here. I mean, a few Lurkers against this many Archons. that wouldn't be unnecessary luxury. +1 Plasma Shield's not done as well. And +2 is about to finish up. War Prism in the main base, and Fjant does not have vision of the corner of his main. So this Zealot Warpin is also really going to hurt. There's still at least a hive. There's a little bit of the Zerg army battling this many Archons. Now, at least the problem with this many Archons is that it's hard for all of them to fight at the same time. But Ashbringer's supply is just not dropping. Fjant built 3 Spires, but he does not have a single Broodlord on the map. Broodlords would obviously be amazing against this many Archons. But Ashbringer is not going to let him get there. It seems for the 3rd time tonight, guys, we are looking at a 3-0. I blame the Gamers Without Borders. They stole my mojo. As Ashbringer gets the job done. He will win $100. Fjant will still get $25 for his effort today. Wow. That sucks. I feel like especially in Game 2 and Game 3 there really was some good potential for Fjant, but the War Prism defense wasn't there. The Queen movement wasn't quite there. And creep spread so-so. On top of that, Fjant just really struggled with this weird style that Ashbringer brought to the show today. It's a lot of double forge. It's crazy strong upgrades. And Ashbringer is a guy that doesn't move out too early. Like, he just sits there. He gets a strong army. He gets great upgrades. And if you keep on attacking into him with mediocre economies, you're kind of playing right into his strength. So GG gets called. Ashbringer does get a W on the board. Well, Cuckoo, if you get a 3-0, mate, I'd actually be happy for you. Since there are very few people on this planet that have a worse record than Cuckoo in the Big Brain Bouts. If Cuckoo gets a 3-0, guys, we should all celebrate it. I believe in you, Cuckoo. I have never believed in anyone like I believe in you tonight. You finally made it to the big stage. Prime time, main event, Big Brain Bouts. Now we want to see what you're made of, amigo. Thank you to the Basilisk Research Group for gifting us 10 more subbies. Welcome, everyone. Obviously, guys, this event is brought to you by Basilisk. Without them, I could not run it. 46% of you guys believed in Fjant. 54% of you guys believed in Ashbringer. The pools are closed. The games are closed. It's just that the best of 5 score lines are not closed. It's frustrating, actually. I'm getting a little bit sapped. We are now 40 minutes ahead of time. Or 40 minutes ahead of schedule, I should say. Main event normally starts around 9 p.m. Normally, I'd be very sad about that. But today, that actually in a weird way kind of works out. Because there was a big break between ESL Masters Europe and America. So at least you guys can watch both. That's awesome. It is time, guys, to, in give or take 5 minutes, kick off our main event of the evening. It is Cuckoo versus Rodzin, BBB number 25, main event. Best of 5, $200 on the line. 150 for the winner, 50 for the loser. Do you guys believe in our Romanian Terran player, Cuckoo? Or do you guys believe in our Polish Protoss? One of the many amazing Polish Protosses there are, that is Rodzin. I gave Rodzin the choice. I was like, Rodzin, you want to play Baby Marine or you want to play Cuckoo? He said, I'll play Cuckoo any day of the week. I was like, all right, drop the gauntlet. Told Cuckoo as well. I was like, Cuckoo, Rodzin says you're easy money, mate. So, should be a fun one. I'm excited for it. Hopefully, it's not a 3-0. I'll take a little break, and I'll be back in a couple of minutes for our PVT main event of Big Brain Bouts number 25.